Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the streaming Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where I pick a streaming service and pick three previously released films off of it. And hopefully, by the end of this episode, you have a whole weekend's worth of movies to go check out. This week, I'm highlighting Paramount Plus, and I probably should have done this episode last week because this is leaning a bit heavily into some patriotic kinds of films, especially war films. And this is coming out the week after the 4th of July, but we're still, tis the season. So we're going to be starting off with 1989's Glory. And Robert Goldshaw leads the U.S. Civil War's first all black volunteer company, fighting prejudices from both his own Union Army and the Confederates. And this film was directed by Edward Zwick, starring Matthew Broderick as Colonel Robert Goldshaw, and had such soldiers in his regiment as Sergeant Major John Rawlins, played by Morgan Freeman, and of course, Private Tripp, played by Denzel Washington. And this is an iconic Civil War film that definitely was played in my high school when I learned about the Civil War for sure. And this film just really captures such a specific time and an important moment in representation in the US military. And Matthew Broderick, so hot at that time in terms of popularity from the 80s with Ferris Bueller and such. And here taking on a more mature role as this man who's, you know, has this rich background, is given this company that he has to lead and take into battle, where there's a lot of opportunities to fail in this situation, especially with what's being planned out and what he's being saddled with, having this whole entire company of black soldiers. I think Broderick does a really fine job, but the real standouts in this cast, Morgan Freeman, as always, does a fantastic job, but it's Denzel Washington who really steps up and does such an amazing job in this film. His performance is electric. That moment where he's being whipped and gets that one single tear going down his face is such a special moment in cinema. And he deserved all the accolades that he got for this film and awards talk. And this film has really well staged battle scenes. It has that energy. It has that conflict and, that prevailing themes of overcoming racism and overcoming our differences and fighting side by side and supporting each other through such adversity. And this is a powerful film that hits a lot of beats and hits a lot of emotions for sure. Now, taking things in a bit of a different direction, we're going to go to 2010, and this is The Fighter. And this docudrama biopic based on the story of Mickey Ward, a fledgling boxer who tries to escape the shadow of his more famous but troubled older boxing brother and get his own shot at greatness. And this is from director David O. Russell, who, you know, hasn't exactly had the best spotlight. He's kind of a dick. But this film really did garner a lot of attention, especially for the performances. I think the direction it's really good. It's solid, it works, it brings to life the drama on screen. It deals with some really heavy things, especially with what Dickie, the older brother, is dealing with in terms of his drug addiction. And this film has so much family drama and tension. It's like busting at the seams with it. It's just so effective in that way for sure. And you have this whole entire experience of this film. You have Mark Wahlberg, who probably gets outshadowed by almost the whole core cast, but I think he does a really fine job in this film, especially as Mickey, who's struggling to get out of the shadow of his mother, his brother, and I think he does a really fine job here. Amy Adams as his love interest in the film. She's fiery, she's spunky. He's not going to put up with any crap. Melissa Leo, she's an incredible actor, and here she is so despicable and so controlling and so toxic, and she just oozes that toxicity in every way, just so perfectly in this role. She's so frustrating. You just get so mad at her for what she's doing to her family and how controlling she is. And then all of her daughters as an extension of her, they're all so catty and toxic. But the big performance of this film is what won the big Oscar for supporting actor for Christian Bale is his performance as Dickie Eklund. And he's emaciated. He is so thin. He is so drugged out. And just the manic energy that he brings to this character. And Christian Bale, being Christian Bale, fully commits to any performance. And he fully embraces Dickie as a character and goes deep into this performance that is so troubled and traumatic and challenging. And overall, this is this is an inspiring story. It's a great boxing story. It has incredible performances. It really works, and there's a lot of great drama along the way. Now, the most raw, it's 4th of July kind of movie you're going to find is 2000's The Patriot from Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day and such. And here, this is the story of peaceful farmer Benjamin Martin is driven to lead the colonial militia during the American Revolution when a sadistic British officer murders his son. And this film is almost a 3-hour epic. It has incredible special effects. It has grand scale in terms of its battle sequences. It has its intensity through those moments. There's this whole like slow motion battle between two regiments that really highlights the film, but it's the grand battle between the Continental Army and Lord Cornwallis's British military at the climax of this film that really like grabs you and just really impress you with what Roland Emmerich's able to do in terms of building something so impactful and really capturing that tension of battle. This film has a lot of big emotional moments. All I'm going to say is there's a harrowing moment with a church being burned, and what it does is so horrific emotionally. And there's so many moments because, like, there's stakes here. Characters die, and some of them have big emotional send offs and that just grab you by the heartstrings. But it's the intensity that I think Mel Gibson brings at the center here is Benjamin Martin, a man who brutally killed a lot of people during the French and Indian War, now does not want to go to war, but is pulled into it. And there's an intensity in Gibson's performance. Heath Ledger, as his eldest son Gabriel, brings so much fire to that performance. Jason Isaacs, as one of the greatest movie antagonists, as Colonel William Tavington, and he is malicious. He is evil. He is a bad man, and he knows it too. Jason Isaac just brings this vile presence to this character. You have Tom Wilkinson as Lord Cornwallis that just brings this presence to him. You have great supporting turns from Chris Cooper and Checky Cario, Renee Auberjonis, and so many others that really just fill out this film. Even like a smaller role from like Adam Baldwin, who plays one of the turncoats, who stick the loyalists who stick with the British throughout this situation. There's such a big ensemble here to where they overly simplify some things and you know this is not strictly like a documentary, so there's going to be a lot of historical inaccuracies. If Mel Gibson's in a historical epic, there's probably going to be a lot of historical inaccuracies, and but the spectacle is there, the feeling is there, the music, just all of it really comes together and delivers such an impactful cinematic experience. The Patriot is a special film that I watched so many times growing up, and it's one of those kinds of films that does make you like forces you to remember what America was all supposed to be about, but also the price of that freedom and all of that. And it's a great film to check out for the 4th of July for sure. And Roland Emmerich has certainly made some big scale movies for sure with these epic films, and this is certainly one of them. But that is a wrap on another episode of the streaming Wasteland. Let's do a little recap here on Paramount Plus. We have 1989's Glory, 2010's The Fighter, and 2000's The Patriot. And please make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your favorite Civil War film? What's your favorite Revolutionary War film or miniseries? And do you have a favorite David O. Russell film or a favorite Mark Wahlberg performance? He didn't seem to get a lot of the attention for this, so we'll give Marky Mark some attention here. Also, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding, and there's so many great shows with wide range of content for you to enjoy on this channel. So go check it out. And if you want to be part of the crew, whether you're a guest or making your own podcast, make sure to reach out through our website. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the streaming wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.